Hi everyone, my name is Caroline and I'm so excited to be here for the new Retail Fest today. I'm going to be presenting more about Plug and Play and what we think about the retail seasons of 2021. I started working at Plug and Play roughly 2 years ago and spent my time in venture capital beforehand. I was investing for the growth stage firm Next 47. And actually in my studies, I was analyzing the VC ecosystem in Israel. So how did the startup ecosystem develop? So I'm more than excited to speak to you today. Hopefully some founders will reach out afterwards. And now with Plug and Play, we really try to bring together the global teams and the global ecosystems. So I hope you find today inspiring and learn a lot about what we do and how we think about retail. So as said, the agenda will be first a bit more about Plug and Play, then the trends in the retail world, especially comparing predictions and what actually is happening this year. And then also my contact details to learn how you can work with us. As Plug and Play, we started operating in 2006 with one simple mission: to drive innovation across the globe by connecting entrepreneurs, large corporations, and investors. Our vision is to be the open innovation platform in the world that's leading and connecting every little dot on the planet. Together, we want to shape the world of tomorrow. This succeeded quite well over the last years. And since 2006, we've scaled to over 40 locations all across the globe. Our headquarters are still in Silicon Valley, but we have offices in Latin America, Africa, Europe, and of course also Asia. We're unfortunately not in Israel yet, but if some corporations are listening that are interested, we're always happy to chat. We now have more than 600 employees and scouted more than 42,000 startups. We don't only cover retail, but a multitude of industries. We also focus on topics such as sustainability, logistics, insurance, travel, mobility, and many more. This is actually always growing, and we, for instance, launched agriculture just a year ago. As Plug and Play, we have the largest startup ecosystem of high-quality startups in the world, with more than 200 people scouting daily around the globe, and all of our startups are verified by us. Also, a lot of deal flow, of course, comes from our VC ecosystem. So we work with all top-tier funds across regions. We have a university partner network of over 55 universities. And of course, we love attending at events like the New Retail Fest, which gives us exposure to new potential partners, new startups, and investors from all around the world. As for the retail platform, we are the oldest vertical within Plug and Play, and actually today have more than 70 partners. Names such as the Schwarz Group, so Lidl, for instance, belongs to that, MediaMarkt Saturn, the largest consumer electronics retailer in Europe, PVH, Walmart, Amazon Moments, but also L'Oreal and Coca-Cola belong to our brands and retailers, and we're very pleased to work with over 70 globally. Also on our investment side, we've done more than 1,000 investments since we started and actually just announced unicorn number 20. Some of these companies might be quite familiar to you. I think especially in the retail environment, Customer and Honey are to be highlighted here. Customer got acquired by Facebook and Honey was bought by PayPal, which is actually also one of our portfolio companies. As investors, we engage early stage with companies, while our programs and cooperation partnerships are stage agnostic. We mostly invest in seed stage and pre-seed stage deals, but we also started doing some more growth investments with our newly launched Future of Commerce Fund, which allows us to do investments in companies post-Series A stage. Last year, we did around 162 investments and typically deploy capital in around 250 firms a year if it's not the COVID season. We deploy check sizes of around $100,000, which is a bit smaller in comparison to other funds, but what we really bring to the table is the value add, the global access, and the access to corporate partners. So if you're a corporation listening today, how can we help you? We help on 4 pillars. First, we help your business units with tackling individual challenges. This can be anywhere in your value chain, and it's really topics that matter to your business that can increase productivity, increase efficiency, and decrease costs. Second, we also help you to exchange best practices with other partners. Our entire mission and vision is built upon open innovation, collaborating, and this is what we want to enable through our platform. And this is why we have many events where our partners exchange, they talk about topics, they find solutions together, and this is what makes the network truly unique. On the other hand, we of course also help you staying on top of the newest trends so that you don't miss anything happening in your industry, and do a lot of content work in the areas of deep dives, community meetings, but also trend reports to help our partners to stay on top. Finally, all of our partners report a culture change in the company because people are faced with innovation and they just act more agile, more innovative, and more like a startup within the corporation. Also, as a startup, you can profit from working with us and being part of our portfolio. First of all, we treat all of our portfolio companies like family and always try to help them if it comes to translating a website into another language, to hiring, but also to big strategy decisions, such as fundraising, but also such as how do you scale your economics, how do you change them, how do you scale the team? We help at every stage. Of course, we also really help you to extend your sales and your fundraising because we have a huge network of investors and corporations and can help here. And then when you scale abroad, we can also open doors because we have offices mostly everywhere. Now that you've learned a bit more about Plug and Play, I would also like to talk about how we see the retail world and how we're predicting trends to change. Last year, we said that a lot of consumers will stop buying non-essential goods such as clothing, jewelry, beauty, but will only focus on essential goods. This also, at least for the first months of the pandemic, became true, and actually in the US, clothing sales dropped by 90% nearly, and grocery increased by 13%. In the EU, this drop was a bit less significant, and food increased by 1.2%. Here we can also see the different countries and how they develop, and in average, we can really see a steep increase in essential goods and a decrease in non-essential goods. However, when we look at this year and how this prediction developed, we can see that we have more money in the market than ever. In the US, there was a $1.9 trillion relief package, and in Germany, there was 182 billion euros saved. This gives way to extremely new business models such as NFTs, digital fashion, a lot of money also in the public stock. And I think this is also a great opportunity for both corporations and also startups in the brand and retail space to leverage this and really use this consumer boom. On the other hand, we also predicted that e-commerce will grow even more. In 2020, actually 62 million users were there in e-commerce in Germany. The penetration rate was at 74%, and we saw 9% growth year over year. When we now look at the entire world, we can actually see that this shift happened in all the markets. So in the United States, 64% shifted to online, 56% in the United Kingdom, 52% in Germany, and 92% in China. I know that Israel statistics are missing here, but this was unfortunately not included in the report, but we can imagine that the figures are quite similar to the UK and Germany. We see that there's an increase, of course, in all the categories, but also things such as food delivery, drink delivery, health product delivery, and even delivery of hygiene products increased in all countries. This, of course, also had an impact on the growth, and we can actually see more than 10% higher growth per year in addition to the usual growth that would have been predicted for e-commerce, and this trend will only continue to grow. Lastly, we also predicted that in times of crisis, there's amazing business opportunities. And actually at the beginning of the crisis, there was a study conducted by McKinsey, which said that 90% of businesses believe that the pandemic will fundamentally change their business, and 85% were concerned about the impact on their customers' needs. Fast forward, we've seen many new unicorns and business models emerge, and Hopin is a great example how a company that was founded before the pandemic actually, through the new way of working, the new way of living, scaled tremendously and already raised 570 million. Of course, from Germany, one of the most well-known companies now is Gorillas. They scaled insanely fast, started last year in March, and are now rumored to raise at a 5 billion valuation and brought quick commerce to the market. Now we see players popping up everywhere, and this is an entire new way of online shopping. Finally, all the FBA roll-up space raised insane amounts of capital, and this just shows us that actually the long tail of retailers will only increase and will become more powerful with players like that. So when we look at our trend predictions of 2021, we can see that passion economy has become a really important topic. How do you actually include this passion economy, but also the creator economy in your social media? So we actually spoke about social commerce a lot in the team and with the partners. Quick commerce is a very important topic that doesn't only concern food, but will affect all industries. And with Arrive, for instance, in Germany, we're seeing a player already in the luxury electronics and beauty space. Future of work is an important topic for us. Also, of course, NFTs and digital fashion, where will that go? And as said, SME enablement. So how can you help the long tail of online shops to become even more efficient and to boost the business? So if you now found this interesting, if you think Plug and Play could bring value to your corporation or to your startup, then please connect with me. I would love to talk to you, learn more about your business, see how we can work together. And this is our little insight from Plug and Play. Thank you so much for listening. I will also be attending the conference, so feel free to shoot me a message and see you guys soon. Thank you.